Hello everyone, here is Landos again, and today I bring you the awesome Windripper Barrage build. So it is of course an elemental build, and for that reason the Inquisitor is the best class because of inevitable judgment that makes every crit bypass enemies' resistances. And to be honest, I don't see why you should pick another class, since in my opinion inevitable judgment and not having to use the lightning pen gem and a curse to decrease enemies' resistances is worth even more than the 40% more damage of the Berserker class. Onto the barrage itself, you might be asking yourself, how the hell can you make a build with it? And the answer to that is the Volley Fire Jewel, that adds 2 projectiles to the first and final attack of Barrage, making it a lot like an improved version of Split Arrow. However, to make this happen, you will need at least 2 Volley Fire Jewels, and the worst part is that you will also need to take some useless dexterity points inside the area of the jewels to reach the minimum required for them to activate the effect. Testing the barrage and comparing it to other bow skills, I really think it has a lot of potential, but at the moment the Methyl Lightning Arrow Frostwall build is by far the strongest option, and even with the Voltaxic nerf in the next patch, it will still be really strong. Probably a version of this build with 100% Pierce in combination with Frostwall would work just as well, if not better, since you fire an absurd amount of projectiles, so I'm looking forward to test this out in the future. This is my gear. I have pretty high flat elemental rolls on my Windripper, but the crit chance is quite low, so you can get a better one than some attack speed and flat elemental damage on my gloves, but accuracy is really nice to have on your gloves. So at the moment I don't have the weapon elemental damage on my rings, but that will increase your damage by a lot, so try to get it. Then the movement speed, 30% increased movement speed on your boots, really important because a bow user can't spam a movement skill, so you really want to be as fast as possible with the movement speed. A rat's nest, the best choice, attack speed, movement speed, some global critical strike chance, and even some rarity. But anyway, you want a quiver with as much crit chance, crit multi, elemental damage with weapons, attack speed, flat elemental damage can be useful, and also life of course. And lastly, some life and evasion on my chest. You can also use a Belly of the Beast, a Doresus Defiance, or a Lightning Coil. Those are really good options, but let's talk about my flasks. I have an instant recovery and bleeding immunity divine flask, a diamond flask with freeze immunity. The shock immunity is on a silver flask. You really want the shock immunity for the Vessel of Winter because it just shocks you, but if you're immune to shock, it doesn't. That's really nice, right? But also the Quicksilver for the movement speed, and that's it. Let's talk about my passive skill tree. You start with the elemental damage, and you take these points right here because you really don't want to go over the spell and melee damage. And having some int, it's really strong. I remember that I was taking this point right here on a other Inquisitor build I did, so it's not really that bad to take these points. Then the Retribution, some life, elemental damage, weapon elemental damage, life, a jeweled socket. This is basically the only one that I take that is not unique. So I have some life, resistances, crit chance, and accuracy. Of course, attack speed, crit multi, those are the best things in my opinion, but I really wanted to have some life, and the accuracy is pretty low, so I needed that. Then the Constitution wheel for the life, some elemental resistances, and evasion with Sentinel. This is one of the 2 spots for the Volley Fire Jewels. This is the other one, and in both cases you want to take a basically a useless dexterity point that you need to get the 50 dexterity points to get the effect of the duel. Then these are the points that you take on the duelist: some life, attack speed and accuracy, and fury bolts. Then the King of the Hill is insane for the knockback on every crit you do with a bow. Then you want to get the life and mana leech on this wheel right here. You can also take the Vitality Void if you want to be safer. The Quick Step is strong in my opinion, 6% movement speed and 9% attack speed on 2 points. I think it's really cool. Then you take more life with Herbalism, crit with bows, a Frenzy Charge, the Volley Fire, the other Volley Fire, crit and crit multiplier, and acrobatics. Then you go on the Ranger area with Finesse, Heart of Oak, Ballistic Mastery, Val Pact, and the Static Electricity. Sadly, this would be a better spot, to be honest, but you really need this spot for the Volley Fire. And these are the points that you take on the Shadow area: Coordination, Blood Siphon, Trickery, Assassination, Elemental Focus, and Cold-Hearted Calculation. So thank you guys all for watching. Sorry for the lack of videos in this period, but I had a lot of problems with Windows 10. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this build in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!